All right, we're going to open it up with the song we've been doing the past few weeks. So if you know it, please sing along with me. Blessed day, I am thankful, grateful heart, I am whole. Glory be to the power of this mind that I know. So full praise to the wonder, freedom, sing a joyful song, calling love to the center, lifting all is one. Oh, sing it now, so it is. Anything I dream, it is. Sing it now, so it is. Think bigger now, so it is. I'm holding this vision of peace, knowing a world of harmony, calling love to the center, lifting all, we are free. Blessed day, I am thankful, grateful heart, I am whole. Glory be to the power of this mind that I know. Soulful praise to the wonder, freedom, sing a joyful song, calling love to the center, lifting all is one. Oh, sing it now, so it is. Anything I dream, it is. Sing it now, so it is. Think bigger now, so it is. I'm holding this vision of peace, knowing a world of harmony, calling love to the center, lifting all, we are free. Calling love to the center, lifting all, we are free.
Thank you, Julie. Good evening, everyone. Hello to those online. My name is Reverend Lee Alvarado. So glad that you have joined us this evening. We are an inclusive community. We welcome all paths to God. And wherever you are on your journey, lifestyles, beliefs, wherever you are welcome here. And we study the teachings of Ernest Holmes, and he created what's called the science of mind. And in the science of mind, we believe that as you change your thinking, as you change your beliefs, you can actually change your life. How cool is that? Yeah. So yeah, and each week we bring in some principles and teachings, practical tools that you can actually take out into your life and apply and use them. And that is also a good thing. So I'm going to introduce our vision and mission. But before I say that, I want to say a couple of things. So we had a group this week. We did a refresh of our vision and our mission. A small group of members worked together to create that, and it was facilitated by Trixie Addison. Trixie, raise your hand right there. So Trixie helped us. We had a 3-hour session, and we got a lot done in a 3-hour session. Thank you so much, Trixie, for that. So here it is. Here is our new unveiling. Okay, well, it's not working. Okay, you're just going to have to be there in suspense. Not sure, maybe, you know what? Could we, maybe batteries? I don't know. It was working a minute ago. Isn't technology wonderful? Do you know? Okay, thank you, Anne. So it's still not working though. So you're going to have, thank you. Okay. So here's our mission. Here's our new mission. Dun, da, da, da. Let's say this together. We are an inclusive community, inspiring personal growth, spiritual practice, and a positive way of life. Nice, right? Yeah, and here's our new vision. To awaken humanity, revealing a world that works for everyone. Yeah, so thank you all for that. All right. The battery was okay. All right. All right, kiddos. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to announcements. Okay. So announcements, Marie. Yeah, you're up.
Oh my God.
I know.
Okay. We changed the order of everything, and now I'm lost. Sitting in the wrong place, standing in the wrong space. Hi. I have the announcements somewhere here. So this month's outreach is Dance Express. This month, a percentage of our tithes will go to support Dance Express, an inclusive dance community in Fort Collins, Colorado that celebrates diverse dance experiences by and for persons with disabilities. And I think Alea is going to come up and tell us all about Dance Express because it's her thing.
Let's give her a hand. Yay, Alea. All right, Alea, now hold that. Okay. So what are 2 things that you love about your experience with Dance Express?
Become better dancer.
Better dancer, wonderful. And what else?
Makes me happy.
Makes you happy. Yay. All right, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. Okay, love having you up on stage with us.
I'm just going to say that becoming a better dancer would make me happy. may not happen in this lifetime, but here it is. So tonight.
Hold on, one more thing, right next to you.
Oh, yes. It's hard to find good help. This is what you get for free.
Yeah, well.
So we have a concert. The Dance Express has a concert, studio concert 23, Sunday, May 28th at 3 o'clock on the Prairie Sage stage at the Fort Collins Senior Center. I have these flyers. Well, they're really kind of like posters. If you would like to take, I have a whole pile of them. If you have a place that's appropriate to post them, I know that most local Starbucks, if you have a local Starbucks, will let you put a poster up on their wall. I'm sure we're going to put a poster up here in the back of the lobby here at the church. And then we also have postcard-sized ones if you'd like to take one of those to remind you as well to come and see this amazing dance extravaganza.
And the postcards are back on the welcome table in the back of the room. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
She told me that before, but it's hard to find good help. It doesn't say it here on the paper. Tonight, spaghetti, youth dinner, spaghetti extravaganza. $10 dinner in the back after service in the celebration hall, and all the proceeds go to support the teen camp and the youth program. So that's very exciting, and food.
Food.
Does it get better than that?
And who doesn't like pasta? I think we even have gluten-free options, just for those who need that.
So we have gluten-free options. Go
Yeah.
figure. So here it comes. She's back. Reverend Barbara Bew is coming back. She will be our guest speaker on April 2nd. Her topic will be putting our hearts out there. For 14 years, Reverend Barb was at the helm of this community. She was a founding minister and a senior minister and a co-minister, and now she's an emeritus minister. That's a lot.
That's a lot of ministers.
That's a lot of ministers.
Yeah, I know.
So she is known for her wit and wisdom and practical application of spiritual principles. Please join us to see Reverend Barb. Easter Sunday, what binds us and what sets us free. Join us for a powerful ritual to release what binds us, led by none other than Reverend Leah. There it is. Easter celebration, in addition to the amazing what binds us and what sets us free, there will be a potluck and an egg hunt. Now, if you've been to the grocery store lately, you've seen how expensive eggs are. This might be your chance. For adults and kids, we're having an egg hunt.
But plastic.
Oh, plastic eggs.
Yeah, plastic, yeah.
Are there going to be plastic chickens?
I hope not.
No, okay. Anyway, there will be games and crafts and prizes, and don't miss out. It'll just be fun. Prosperity Plus 3, with Reverend Leah facilitating Thursday, April 13th to May the 25th, 6:30 to 9 p.m. on Zoom and in person. If you register by April 10th, that's the deadline to register. These are great classes with Mary Madden Morrissey, and no one could probably tell you better about Mary Madden Morrissey than Mary Madden Morrissey.
Author of 2 best-selling books, No Less Than Greatness and Building Your Field of Dreams, which became a PBS special. I'm also the creator of the Prosperity Plus programs. I created Prosperity Plus so that we could gather together and do an experiment, and a 7-week experiment in living a life that's harmonious with the invisible laws that govern the visible results we call our own. These are ancient laws. They're invisible to our 5 senses, and yet they govern all the results that we call our own. Now, people all throughout millennia have studied how to experience greater freedom, greater flow. 5,000 years from Hinduism down through all of the different religious trainings and teachings, New Thought itself, science, psychology, discovering how can we live a life that we truly love living while we're living it. There are ways that we can partner with the infinite side of our nature. Prosperity Plus 3 is a dynamic tithing experiment with your life through proven, reliable, repeatable systems of transformation that actually engage the power in you through simple, highly effective tools each week that open your life to a greater experience of what I call full spectrum wealth. Where you don't just have wealth in one area and bankruptcy in another, where you're wealthy in money and have bankruptcy in relationships, or you're wealthy perhaps in health but not in relationships. You want a full spectrum wealth, a wealth that opens you up to a life you truly love living. And Prosperity Plus 3 is where you're going to engage in this experiment with these ancient laws through a simple, easy to practice way of being. Over the course of 7 weeks, you'll engage with other members of your community. You'll have a weekly class. There'll be a facilitator or one of your ministers who will lead you through it. It's actually a very fun experiment in living. And so this is your invitation to actually do an experiment, to actually have these next 7 weeks after the class begins become one of the most transformative eras of your life, and it'll be with you forever. You learn how to live from a vision, not just have a vision or have a dream, but actually the science of building that dream right into your results, how you harness and work with these invisible laws. You're going to study transformational material each week. It's very engaging. It's actually fun. And week by week, you'll be given simple but highly effective tools that you can employ that week. So Prosperity Plus members report all kinds of increases in their life, increases in their income, surprise support coming their way, new businesses, books get written, relationships get found, all kinds of surprise support. I highly encourage you to give yourself the gift of what your center or your church is offering you. Prosperity Plus 3 is a 7-week experiment in abundant living, and it includes all the support materials that come with the class. But most of all, just for a moment here, 7 weeks are going to come and go. But if you invest a little bit of time each week for 7 weeks, you'll look back on this being one of the best investments you've ever made in your growth, in your dreams, in your life. There is a pattern through which success occurs. It operates in harmony with the invisible laws that govern our results. And if you just keep breathing, you are going to have results. Not maybe, absolutely. But what will those results be? They'll occur either by default, the same pattern governing our lives, or they'll occur by design. And in Prosperity Plus 3, you're going to learn how to design your inner life with an outer life that you absolutely love living. Prosperity Plus 3 is created for the person who really wants to go deeper spiritually and then have a life that has greater, freer, fuller expression by means of the relationship with the infinite side of your nature. And I invite you to give yourself this gift and say yes to your community who is offering Prosperity Plus 3, an experiment in greater living.
And while I could have just walked off while all of that was going on, I wouldn't have gotten to do this. Everything else that we're doing, right here, see our website, cslnoco.org. That's where you can find it all. That's what I know.
Thank you,
This-
Marie.
Okay, Doug.
Oh.
Thank you for bringing that. If you're all familiar with QR codes, we have a lot of fun. You take your cell phone, you turn on the camera, you point it at this thing, and it'll take you right to our website. It's magical.
Magic.
It's the magic of QR codes,
Yep.
technology.
Thank
Okay.
you. All right. So let's settle back and go within as we begin with an opening prayer, a meditation, and a song.
So just close your eyes, open your heart and mind, prepare yourself to receive. This afternoon, this evening is all about connecting with the divine, that divine that lives within. It is that essence that moves in, of, and through all of life. You know it is nature, when we call it God. And I know that this is a supportive, creative, infinite universe that we live in. Just as each person here has this energy, this essence that dwells within each one of us. So as we've come together here this evening to hear Reverend Leah and her talk, knowing that her talk is going to be supportive. It will speak to each one of us in a special way. You can have a moment that life has changed as you know it. So I'm so grateful for this gathering, this time together, this opportunity to speak these words, to know that each person here who has come together to serve and to support CSL NOCO. I'm grateful for all of you, for each person here. I'm grateful for people here in service. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful for this beautiful day. So as we prepare ourselves and listen, I'm simply going to release these words, knowing that it is already done. It is so, and so it is. So Julie's going to play a chant. The words are here. So take this moment to go inside, silently share and spend time in this moment.
I am that I am. I am that I am. I am that I am. Our featured song for today was chosen by Reverend Leah, and I'm really glad that she introduced me to this one because it's really beautiful, and I really recommend you go listen to the original. So it's by a group called Starling Arrow, written by Tina Malia, and it's a group of women, beautiful harmonies, and this song is called By the Jordan. The only home I've ever known is right here by your side. Set your orders for the dawn till you hear that Jordan River. I say glory to the Lord, to cradle you tonight. And are you running for the shore? Do you hear that Jordan River? The only home I've ever known is right here by your side. Set your orders for the dawn till you hear that Jordan River. The only home I've ever known is right here by your side. Set your orders for the dawn till you hear that Jordan River. I say glory to the Lord, to cradle you tonight. I say glory to the Lord, to cradle you tonight. I say glory to the Lord, to cradle you tonight.
Beautiful job, Julie. Beautiful job. Starling Arrow is that band. They're amazing. All right. So this whole month, I've been doing a series. If you haven't been here until today, we've been doing a series on Yeshua and the teachings of Yeshua. And tonight, I'm talking about becoming a living embodiment of the Christ. So in order to do that, though, You know, we've got some stuff around that word, don't we, Christ? So we got to let that go, yeah, in order to be able to receive it, in order to be able to really hear what this is about, is to let that go, to let go of all of our previous definitions of all of the stories and the things that we have brought forth from our past related to Christ. Christ is a consciousness. Christ was not Jesus' last name. Christ is a consciousness, is an awareness. And it's the consciousness of forgiveness and peace and harmony and grace and inclusiveness. And it's mostly, though, about love. It's mostly the consciousness about love. I've been referring a lot this month to Adyashanti's book, Resurrecting Jesus, because he's got some really great stuff in there. And he talks about, when he was talking about Christ, he was talking about two orders of being, that there are two different orders of being. And so Jesus and his disciples represented one order of being. And then there were those who would come and watch him and listen to him speak, and they represented a different order of being. Now, these individuals had a little bit more of an egoic realm of consciousness, where the others, the disciples and Yeshua, had a little higher level of consciousness. And so Adyashanti talks about how those individuals that were operating from more that egoic place, the reason is because they saw and felt God out here. God was out here. God was not in here. They walked through the world. They lived more in the material world, matter, in that world of reacting to life rather than knowing they could create their life. And Adyashanti says that, you know, most human beings live in that egoic state. Now, perhaps y'all are different than that. I'm knowing that you are. But, you know, we're human. Next month, I'm going to talk about integrating the human and the divine. So our human selves often get stuck in that ego place. And so he was saying, this is what he said about that. Many people say, I'd love to be awake. I'd love to be enlightened. That's all well and good, but are you really ready to leave your old world behind? Are you really ready to leave your old self behind, or do you hope to bring the freedom of enlightenment down into your ordinary egoic dimension of being? Yeah, so we have to want this state, this embodied state, this higher state. We have to want it, and if we do, if we say, yes, I actually want to experience, to embody the Christ consciousness, we have to release, we have to let go of some old ways of being and the definitions that we've created about who we are, about who God is, and about what Christ really means. And we have to alter our view of the world. We have to alter our perception of not only ourselves, but of the world. And so really a complete transformation is needed in order to embody it fully. And I'm going to talk more about that and what that means. Ernest Holmes said, our founder, Dr. Ernest Holmes said, as the human gives way to the divine, in all people they become the Christ. So as we move from that human self, from that egoic place, as we release those aspects of being and we move into the divine, the Christ consciousness, embodying that is what's possible. You know, our world is shifting. Do you feel that? Do you feel that the world is shifting? It is. It may not seem that way. You know, we look at the world and we see all the chaos that's happening, but a shift is occurring. Our social and our political systems and structures are breaking down. People are being held accountable. That happened this week, if you watch the news. And it's actually been happening for a while. People are being held accountable in ways that they weren't before. You know, but in some cases, it may look like things are getting worse. Things are just falling apart. But, you know, things sometimes need to break down before an opening occurs. Have you experienced that in your own life? Sometimes we got to go through the breakdown before an opening is possible. So we are at a choice point, actually. We are at a choice point in our life and in the world. Adyashanti said, "Within each one of us is the divine light. The challenge is to bring forth, not to keep it hidden or dimmed down out of fear. As Christ said, if we don't do this, we will live in darkness. We will have fallen asleep to our own light, to our own life." Many on this planet are choosing to stay in the darkness. Some of you likely know people who have chosen to stay in the darkness. And it's really okay. It's where they're at. There's no judgment there. But that's just the reality of humanity. Everybody is at a different level of consciousness, and we're all evolving at our own pace. Our own pace. And so we always have a choice, though. We have a choice. We have free will. We can choose to embody the consciousness of Christ, or we can choose to stay in the darkness. It's up to us. And so there's a question I have for all of us. Am I willing, are you willing to abide as Christ? Are you willing? So just take that in. Am I willing to live the embodiment of Christ? Am I willing to be an extension of the divine? Am I willing to extend love to the planet, to those I pass by on the street? Am I willing to be an extension of that love in my life? Now, if the answer is yes, I absolutely want to do that, I want to be that, then the next question you might want to ask is how? Okay, how do I do that? How do I extend love? And if you ask that question sincerely, you actually will get an answer immediately, likely. And the answer may be, oh, I got to call that person I haven't talked to in years. I got to send so-and-so a note, a little thank you note. Or maybe what you'll get is, I gotta send some blessings and some prayers to the leaders in such and such country, or the leaders of our world. Or you might just simply get, you know what? I gotta turn to my partner and my beloved and just tell them how much I appreciate them. Maybe that's what you'll hear. So if you ask the question sincerely, you will be guided to what it is that's needed. Yeshua and the Way of Mastery, we've been talking a lot about the Way of Mastery. We're going to be doing this book study at the end of the month, coming up next week, actually. And here's what Yeshua said, talking about Christ. He says, yes, it does mean living unlike the way the world lives. Yes, it does mean going against the grain. You may seem to need to apply more energy to it at first, as you get the momentum of your mind to turn in another direction, to shake loose all of the sludge that has settled into your consciousness. Don't you love that word, sludge? We all have sludge, right? We all got a little sludge in there. And so what is the sludge that you're carrying around? What is it? What is that for you? What are the definitions that you know are limiting you in your life? What are the things that you're still hanging on to, that you're carrying around with you as you walk through life? The things that happened 35 years ago that you're still pulling along with you. Do you know, we all have those things that we haven't let go of yet. That sludge. And Yeshua says, the way is easy and without effort. It truly is easy. But as humans, we make it hard. Don't we make it hard? We make it so hard. Do you know that saying, no pain, no gain? That's a lie. Where did that come from? No pain, no gain. Do you know, so we bought into that as if it's the truth. Well, I gotta work really hard. I gotta meditate for 4 hours a day, and no, you really don't. You really don't. 10 minutes a day would be great, even if you did that. Yeah, so, only we can decide when we are ready to embody the Christ consciousness. We decide that. No one can tell us when is the right time and how to do it. We have to determine that for ourselves. And, there's something awakening. That shift is happening, and there's something awakening within humanity. And there's something here for you today, otherwise you wouldn't be here. Otherwise you wouldn't be online listening to this. There is a reason why you showed up today. Trust that. Trust that. And some of you are going through some really hard things right now, some really painful things. And what that tells me is that it means that something big is coming up to be shifted within you. That's what that means. It's not a bad thing. It just means that there's something that needs to be shifted and is coming up so that it can be healed and released. The sludge is starting to move its way through us. Yeah, Yeshua says, he says this, and I'm repeating a part of a quote I said last week, but it bears repeating. So he says, "Let no moment be wasted. See nothing as ordinary. And see not the perceptions taught to you of the world being justified within yourself, but be wholly committed to rooting up and out of your being anything that is unlike the love of Christ. When you find yourself in a situation that you believe is too big, rest assured it is because something big has finally come to the surface to be healed within you, so that more power can shine forth through you. You have reached the place where you are ready for it. More of Christ can be lived." Yes, amen to that. So if you weren't ready for it, you would not be here right now. On some level, you are ready to make that shift. We were birthed for greatness, Yeshua says. We were birthed, he says that in the Way of Mastery. I love that. We were birthed for greatness. Yes? Do you feel that? Some of you are like, I'm not sure. What am I here? The good question to ask, why am I here in this life? Why am I on this planet? I could have been born on another planet. Why am I on this planet? Why did my soul choose to be here at this time? You could have chosen to be born in the 20s, the 30s, in the 1800s, but you're here now. And there's a shift happening. The ego will push against the transformation that's trying to happen. The ego will resist it. The ego will say, no, I know you're trying to shift your perception. I know you're trying to move into this thing called Christ consciousness. And the ego will say, nope. I want you to stay in those old patterns. I want you to stay in those old beliefs. I want you to stay in those old ways of being, because that's where it's comfortable. We just want to hang out there, and it feels really good to be there. But does it really? We get so used to that. I'm going to talk a lot about that next month, about our humanness. So I had a dream on Friday night. Now, I don't always remember the details of my dream, but I remembered the details of this one. This dream was about our former president, Donald Trump. And it was an interesting dream. I'd never dreamed about him before. He was feeling tremendous remorse. And even now, I can see the dream and I can feel this remorse coming from him. And he decided in my dream to write letters to every single person that he has hurt, harmed, offended, upset, every single person. And my job in the dream was to deliver those letters. I would have been a busy person. But I was delivering those letters. And there were rows of people like this, rows and rows of people, and they were seated there, and he was off over here, and he was also available to meet with people one-on-one to hear what they had to say. Their complaints, their upsets, how hurt or offended they were by something he said or did. And he listened. And he opened his heart fully to listen to everything that everybody wanted to say and needed to say. And then he sent out those letters to everybody that he knew that he hurt. It was profound. It was profound. Imagine something like that actually happening. And some of you are like, oh no, that's never going to happen. But, as soon as we think that will never happen, then we doubt the extraordinary power of the divine, do we not? We doubt the extraordinary power of spirit to transform itself through someone like Donald Trump or anybody for that matter. This dream wasn't so much about him. He just happened to be the person. But the dream was really about that Christed consciousness. That Christed consciousness that's available to all beings. Imagine if we lived in a world where the leaders of our world or the people in our lives that we know have hurt us or hurt others, that they actually owned what they did. They took responsibility for it. They admitted their errors. They dropped into their heart and they opened their heart with compassion and love and they said, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry that I did that, sincerely. So imagine if we focus on that vision, on that consciousness, versus saying that, well, this person is a malignant narcissist, and this person is blankety blank. Now, it doesn't mean that people don't do harmful things and that they shouldn't be held accountable, because people certainly should be held accountable for the things that they do. And it doesn't mean that we shouldn't speak out, that we shouldn't use our voice, that we shouldn't stand up and say this is wrong. That's not what I'm saying at all. And we certainly should not spiritually bypass things, because as spiritual beings, sometimes we do that. We move to love too quickly. We move to forgiveness too quickly. I am guilty of that, without holding somebody accountable. So we have to be aware of that as spiritual people, to not move to love and forgiveness so quickly. However, so here's what we do. We tune into that Christ consciousness within us. We tap into that energy and we ask it to guide us. How should I handle this particular situation in my life? How should I approach this person that I've been angry at for the last 30 years? What can I do to release it? What can I do to forgive them? What can I do to free myself? And so we can tap into that Christ consciousness to assist us and to support us on our journey. Some of you might be thinking, so why do I need to abide as Christ? Why? Because our world needs us to. Our world needs us to align with this consciousness and with this energy, so that we can help shift and raise the vibration and the frequency and the consciousness of this planet. We are the ones who are going to do that, because we are awake, because we are aware, because we have a certain level of understanding that so many people do not have. And it's not to make anyone wrong. It's just that you are all here right now. You're hearing this. There's a reason for it. Yeah? And so there are those who are choosing to stay in the darkness, and we can help them. We can help them. Our job is much more than just being, and I don't mean just, but more than being a parent, a grandparent, a daughter, a son, a friend, a boss, a coworker. And it's not to diminish those roles at all. But what I'm saying is that there is something bigger happening here. There is potential and possibility available to each of us individually. There is transformation that is possible for us individually and for the entire planet. Do you get that? Yes. It's exciting, actually, to think about what's possible. I get excited about that. Can you tell? I get really excited. All of us are healers. Every single one of us. And when I was doing all my research for the series this month, I came across a piece that was talking about how Yeshua would teach his followers to, he showed them that in the palm of their hand there is a light. And that they too could use the light that is within their palms to heal others. So he taught that. He tried to show others how they could do that. And isn't it wonderful to know that we are capable of that? That same light is within us too. It is within us too. So the Christ has always been there. It has always been within us. Yeshua isn't the only one that can heal. He isn't the only one that can transform and make a difference. It is our nature to love. It is our nature to heal. And so really the only thing to do is to surrender to this Christ presence, is surrender to it. And as we surrender to it, we embody it. We live it. We breathe it. We move through the world as it. And so, like with all things, it takes practice. We're not used to walking through the world as Christ. So we practice that. You know, in the Way of Mastery, Yeshua talks about spending 5 minutes sitting in a chair as Christ. Wow, what would that be like? So you sit and you close your eyes and you say, okay, I'm choosing right now to connect with the Christ. And you just feel it in your body for 5 minutes, and your mind's going to go, you know. So you bring it back and you feel that. And then you get up from your chair and you go out into your life and you interact with your partner, or you sit down for breakfast with your kids, or you go to work, or you drive down the street, and you're emitting that energy and that light to everyone. And so I invite us all to try that, to take that on, to practice it. You know, particularly with the people that drive you a little nuts, the people that drive you a little crazy. We all have those people in our lives, and you get extra bonus points for those, you know. So, you know, when we sit in that consciousness and we feel that energy for 5 minutes, and then we ask ourselves, who can I extend love to today? Without lifting a finger, who can I extend love to today? Joseph Campbell said, we are all manifestations of Buddha consciousness or Christ consciousness, only we don't know it. The word Buddha means the one who waked up. We are all to do that, to wake up to the Christ or Buddha consciousness within us. So it's really about waking up to it. It's just been a little sleep in there. So we just have to wake it up. Yeah? And Yeshua says, in his advice to us, in the Way of Mastery, he says, I am already that which I seek. I need only to allow it to guide me. While this body lasts, I will allow it to be a communication device that extends the treasure of perfect love, perfect safety, and perfect peace to all who enter my house. And that house he's referring to is our field of energy. So whoever enters my field of energy, may they be blessed, may they be transformed, may they be healed, may they be touched by the love that is within me. So what if we knew that and we stated that and that was our intention when we started our day? May everyone be blessed who touches my energy field. We are equal to Yeshua. We are equal to him. All of us grew up the opposite of that, right? We all grew up thinking he's some savior. He's out here. No. We are equal to him. He's not better than us. We are equal. The only difference is that he realized his God nature. The rest of us have not. That's the only difference. Yeshua said, as you transfigure your humanity, you are transfiguring the energy field of humankind, pure and simple. You are incarnating Christ into the world. So as we do our work, it then touches and the ripples go out, and it starts to heal others in our community, in the world, and then we incarnate that Christ presence in the world. So the more we choose to behave as a Christed human, we become it. As we behave as it, we become it. I was at King Soopers the other day, and as I pull into the parking lot, this guy caught my attention over to my side here, and I look, and he's standing outside of his car, and he's standing there, and he's talking, and at first I didn't think much of it, and then I'm watching him, and there's nobody next to him. And I see him, and he's looking up at the sky, and he's talking. And then I watched him, and then he made the sign of the cross on his chest. Then I realized he was in prayer. in the middle of the King Soopers parking lot. He's in prayer and he's looking up. And so in that moment, I wondered what was going on with his life. I could tell that he was in distress. And so I sent a silent blessing to him, knowing that whatever he was praying for would manifest, would show itself in his life. And, at some point on our spiritual journey, we begin to experience things like this, where we begin to take ourselves outside of our own world, about our own stuff and all the things that we have to deal with, and we begin to notice other people around us and what they're dealing with on a daily basis. Most people are in survival. Most people are hurting on some level, mentally, emotionally, physically. And so as we move through the world on a daily basis, we can share that Christ consciousness. We can share and extend our love and blessings and prayers. And we can transform ourselves as we do that. I love what Adyashanti said. If you chase God long enough and sincerely enough, everything switches. And it feels like God is chasing you. And once God is chasing you, you realize the reins of your life are really no longer in your ego's hands. Some other force is now commanding your spiritual journey, and your life has given way to a new, transforming force. Powerful. Yeah? So let's choose in this moment to be a transformational force in the world. As you go out into your week, practice being that Christed presence. Sit for 5 minutes and feel that presence of Christ. Feel it and know it and practice seeing through the eyes of Yeshua. What would that be like? Practice that. So that we then can awaken humanity, revealing a world that works for everyone, our new vision. So I want you right now to take the hands of someone sitting next to you. Grab a hand, and if someone is across, maybe you have to grab behind the chair there, but I would love everybody to be holding someone's hand. If you're okay with that, grabbing hands here. And in those online, know that you're part of this circle and just place your hands out knowing that you are joining us. So I'm now going to ask you to close your eyes. Now feel the energy in your heart. Become aware of the presence and the energy of the divine in the center of your being. And feel that energy traveling down your heart into your hands. Feel that circle of energy that Yeshua talked about in the palms of your hands. Feel that light. And send it to the people that you are holding hands with. Send that light to them, that healing presence to them. And now see our circle extended to include every person on the planet. See us all holding hands across the entire planet, and that light extending out from our heart into our hands and going to every single person. Choose in this moment to be Christ, to be a healing and loving presence for one another, for the surrounding community, and for the world. For our leaders, for our politicians, for people of every race, every religion, every unique soul expression that exists on this planet and beyond. And so continue holding hands as we move into prayer. Practitioners, I invite you to stand in high consciousness. And so right here in this moment, we feel that Christed presence within us. We feel that energy and that light emanating from our heart, going down our arms and to our hands and sharing that. We will remember this moment. So much so that as we go out into our week, we are sharing that light, continuing to share that light and that love with everyone we come into contact with. I am knowing that we are helping to shift and raise the consciousness of this planet, that we are awakening humanity simply by who we are, simply by the energy that we emanate, and by our presence, by the Christ presence that we are. So as we surrender to that, I am knowing that our lives are blessed, that our lives are filled with joy, that our lives are filled with freedom and peace and all good things. For as we give out, we receive. And so with great gratitude in my heart, I let this go. I allow it to be, trusting and knowing that it is so. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up. I am the place where God lives, moves and breathes and has its being. I am the place where God shows up.
Okay, I asked the ushers to come forward. And so we believe in the law of circulation, which basically says as we give, we receive. And we believe that it is a spiritual decision to give, not so much a financial one. And so I invite you to share your gifts and tithes knowing this truth. If you can, if you pay automatically or give automatically online or through some other means, I guess it would just be online, not some other means, bless the basket as it comes around. I know many of you do that. And so let's just place our gift on our heart and let's say our offering affirmation together. This gift is spirit and form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give and joyfully I receive. Thank you all.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. And though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine on till tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
Thank you, Julie. And thank you, Matt. Thank you all. So we just bless all that is coming in and flowing into our center and allowing us to continue to do great things. We know that it blesses us and it multiplies, and so it is. So it is. Thank you. Anybody new for the first time? Anybody here for the first time? Well, welcome. All right, welcome. So glad that you've joined us. There's welcome packets if you didn't see already. So glad you're here. Thank you, thank you. All right. And after service, we have a prayer practitioner will be up here on stage. If there's something on your heart that you would like prayer for, Deborah J. will be up here, so feel free to take advantage of that. And I just want to take a moment. Brian, can you come on up? So Brian Downhauer has been on our board for 3 years, and he is rolling off the board, and so we just want to acknowledge him and give him thanks, give him some love for dedicating 3 years to our board and to being of service to our community. And he's not leaving the community. He's just rolling off the board for right now. He's got some other stuff going on. So the board and we got together and we put some money together for a little gift for you. And so just wanted to give you this and say thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So if you could all stand, place your hands over your heart, and let's sing, or not sing, sing. You could sing, but let's say it together. May we be at peace. May our heart remain open. May we awaken to the light of your own true nature. May we be healed, and may we be a source of healing for all beings. Love is who I am, love is who we are, and love is all there is. So it is.
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for love. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for love. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for love. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only yes,